Rock and metal guitarists, there is a new IR pack in town, but this one is special. Bogren Digital, known for making some of the finest IRs out there, have teamed up with no other than BEYERDYNAMIC and me. And we've come up with a unique sounding IR pack that is nothing but massive. But before I walk you through this wonderful product, why don't we check out the trailer?
Hey there, I'm Jens Bogren.
And this is Kohle, and we've teamed up with BEYERDYNAMIC to celebrate their 100th anniversary. And together, we created a unique IR pack. This pack includes incredibly accurate captures of all the classic and contemporary Beyer microphones.
Ultra-rare historic microphones from the BEYERDYNAMIC archives that cannot be found anywhere else.
This is a sonic playground, a tone journey through 100 years of German microphone history, ready for any type of modern guitar production.
I don't know where to start, really. There's so much to say. First of all, this is by far the biggest IR pack that Bogren Digital have ever released. I think it's more than 230 IRs. For the first time, two producers worked on one pack there, so it contains two producer pack with custom IRs from both Jens Bogren and me. For the first time, we teamed up with a microphone company, BEYERDYNAMIC, who not only gave us access to all their contemporary microphones, but also to their archives of vintage microphones from 100 years of BEYERDYNAMIC history. Mics that you can't get anywhere else. This makes this pack really, really special. And for the first time, this also includes so-called technical IRs, and those are so powerful. Phase-accurate technical IRs of the 9 best-sounding Beyer microphones in front of an awesome Mesa cab from 2002, which makes it super easy for you to blend different microphones and to create your own tones or even your own IRs. I will walk you through all of that in a minute. It's just very, very powerful, especially because I think that a lot of people are not that familiar with BEYERDYNAMIC microphones, and I'm always trying to escape the generic. I'm always trying to explore new tones, new gear. So I think for a lot of you guys, this is the chance to discover and to explore not only the awesome contemporary Beyer mics, but also the history of Beyer microphones, and just to find some tones that do not sound like everybody else. Okay, enough talking. So let's jump right into it and let's check out some of the IRs. So this is what the pack looks like. 4 main folders. So we've got 2 producer packs, one from Jens and one from me, both in different sampling rates. This is Jens' pack, some bass IRs, lead guitar IRs, rhythm IRs. This is my pack. We will check it out in a minute. Additionally, we've got the technical IRs that I will also show you in this video with, I think, 9 different awesome sounding Beyer microphones, both historic mics and contemporary mics, like this one, the M88. Then we have another folder called historic microphones, and these are a lot of mics. Look at this. And these are historic mics. I think the oldest mic is from the 1920s. It's crazy. So you can do a lot of experiments with those mics. But let's start with my producer pack and let's check out some of the IRs in there. I'm playing my Fernandez guitar with EMGs through a Cranbourne DI, and first I'm hitting a tube screamer, just because I like tube screamers. I've got a few amplifiers here, but let's use the Bogren one knob rectifier. Awesome sounding plugin, really cool. Everybody should have it, link below. I'm gonna turn off the cab for now. And let's check out some of the IRs. So here we've got my producer pack on the left and Jens' producer pack on the right. So let's start with number 1. And I love this one. This is the IR that I used for creating the demo song. How nice is that? Those are 2 vintage ribbon mics from the 60s blended together. And because these are like producer IRs, mix ready IRs, I'm always using a lot of low cut and high cut filtering so that you can throw them straight into a mix. And that means I always get rid of some sizzle and of some additional low end that you typically don't need. For this IR, there is another version called Fat here, where I thought like it's so much fun to have that massive low end of the ribbon mics. So that's why there's another version. It's maybe more fun to play. Probably it's gonna be a little too boomy in the mix, but you have both versions. The next one is quite the opposite. It's a really aggressive sounding IR where I mixed 3 dynamic microphones. Listen to that difference. And I love the fact that both of it sounds nothing like a 57. Back to the ribbons. Here's another one that sounds great. This one is called Bite the Hand That Bleeds. It's also an aggressive sounding IR, but with more low end. And I remember for this one, I used 2 cabinets, a Mesa cab and a Fryette cab. And I think it's 6 mics or something. By the way, there's a PDF included that shows you all the gear that was used. But I worked on this IR for a long time to get the palm mutes that nasty. Yeah, then we have more warm sounding IRs like maybe this one. If, in case you wonder why some IRs seem to be louder than the others, they all have technically the same level, but usually the more low end you have, the more that eats up the energy, and that makes the human ear perceive the IR as being quieter, like this one. Seems to be more quiet than this. So don't let that fool you. But this was 360 fullness. This is also another vintage microphone. And the cool thing is that all those IR sound so different. So if you just go from IR to IR, you can get a lot of different characters. This one is special too. This is an oversized Marshall cab with Jensen speakers. Oh, there's another one I love, and this one is called Pure M130 ribbon. And this is an M130, like one of the contemporary ribbons, but like more distant from the cab. So it sounds a little roomy. And that feels so nice to play because it makes the other one sound a little artificial, especially if you play it for a while. Yeah, it sounds a little more like being in the room, right? What else do we have? We've got a few funny ones. This one, Entombed Forever. Or Teutonic Thrash Attack. I can't play today, I'm sorry. You get the idea, right? You get the idea. Lots of different characters achieved with a lot of different cabinets, different speakers, and different microphones. But now I want to show you something that I feel is very special and something that I haven't done before. Now I want to talk about what we call the Technical IRs. And we've created Technical IRs of 9 different microphones, 9 Beyer microphones, both historic and contemporary mics. And we've put all of them in front of one of the most awesome sounding Mesa cabs, vintage 30s from 2002. We've captured, I think, 13 different mic positions for each of them, but only the usable area where they sound good. and we fine-tuned the distance to the speaker for each microphone depending on the sound and especially the low-end character. So the ribbons usually had like a longer distance from the cab, and the mics, the dynamic mics were closer, stuff like that. We fine-tuned that and gave you what we feel are the best raw IRs of those microphones that you can get. And that gives you the chance to blend those mics because they're all in phase, and that makes it so easy. Let me give you an example. What I have here on the left side are the IRs of the M24, which is the most aggressive and brightest sounding mic of the bunch. This one is actually from the 1950s. Sounds awesome. And here you can see the different mic positions. So now we're in the center, and you can go all the way from the center up to here. This is the darkest position, and everything in between in really small steps. Really effective. It's almost like moving the real mic. But let's go back to the brightest position to the center. Let's say we want to add some low end. Why don't we choose the thickest and fattest sounding microphone of the bunch, and that is the contemporary M130, a figure of 8 ribbon microphone. Let's go to the center, and it sounds like this. Massive low end, really dark. But low end is what we want. Maybe we can even darken it a little more. And now you can blend those two mics, and they will always be in phase. $50-50. That's actually pretty cool. And it's so easy, you know, and you have unlimited possibilities. You just have to get to know the character of the mics. And then you can just add what's missing. Here's another example. Like one of the vintage ribbon microphones that really surprised me was the M360. Not only does it look amazing, but check this out. Center. Just a raw IR has such a nice mid-range. Why don't we combine that with a modern dynamic? For example, what do we have here? Yeah, the TGI-51, which is Beyerdynamic's current, I think it's like a kick drum or tom microphone, drum mic. Very aggressive sounding mic, sounds like this. Let's bring them together. This way we preserve like the mid-range of the ribbon, but just add a little more grind and precision. Ribbon alone. Dynamic. And in this case, I haven't even played with the different positions. You can also darken this one. Great sound, right? Great sound. And we've got quite a few options. Let me just walk you through the mics. DT990, that's actually a headphone that we turned into a microphone, like a Beyerdynamic Studio headphone. M24, I showed you that one, very old dynamic mic. M88, this one also very kind of scooped and aggressive sounding mic, really cool for blending. M130 ribbon, modern ribbon microphone, very fat sounding. M160 ribbon, I think that's Beyerdynamic's most popular microphone. A lot of people use it. Some of you might know it from Ola Englund, at least he used it at some point. M201, Steve Albini once said that's the proper SM57. M260 is a vintage ribbon, 360 is a vintage ribbon, and the TJI 51 is the one we just heard. Also modern microphone. M260 is lovely. Let's do that one. That just sounds fucking awesome. Let's just try to add the headphone. Let's see how that sounds, okay? So, this one, maybe a little darker. Yeah, like that. Now we go to the headphones. DT990 center. Headphones sound like this. Another cool way to add low end. So let's see what happens if we add headphones to the vintage ribbon. Okay, makes it darker and thickens the tone. Can you hear that? It's all kind of cool. A little too much, a little too resonant in the lows, but maybe like this. That's pretty cool. So what I'm trying to tell you is we worked hard to give you endless combinations, but to make it really easy. And once I think you have understood the character of those mics, this is just a very fun to use tool case for awesome guitar tones, for all kinds of rock and metal. Then finally, we've got the historic IRs, which are more like, they're more for the archive and more for experiments. We just took, I think, 5 IRs of each of the microphones that they send us, which were a lot of microphones. Most of them were not really intended to be used on guitar cabs. But let's just try historic microphones. Let's go to the Soundstar X1. Actually pretty good. Blend with a ribbon. That's much better than expected. Anyway, some of the historic mics just sound funny. Let me see what I can find here. M20, that's very old. You know what I mean. But this can be fun, you know, for lo-fi stuff or for an intro or for whatever. That Soundstar mic, that was kind of cool. That was just a quick introduction, and you can see how many options you have with this awesome pack. Not only to get a whole variety of great tones from 2 different producers, but also, and that is even maybe more important, to create your own custom blends. And that is just so much fun, especially for people who can't afford a real live room and can't work with real cabinets because they have neighbors or something, you know. Whatever. So Jens is gonna make another video, probably on the Bogren channel, where he walks you through his IRs. You know, I can't do all the work. And in the meantime, you better check out the link below to both the free pack, if you just want to get like an impression of how things sound, or the full pack. Yeah, get it. It's fun. It's special. It's different from anything else. Thanks for watching. Please leave a comment. Let me know how you like this video, how you like the IR pack, and anything else you want to tell me. All right, that's all for today. Thanks for watching. I see you in hell, motherfuckers. Bye-bye.
Hey there, I'm Jens Bogren.
And this is Christian Kohle, and we've teamed up with BEYERDYNAMIC to celebrate their 100th anniversary. And together, we created a unique IR pack. This pack includes incredibly accurate captures of all the classic and contemporary Beyer microphones.
Ultra rare historic microphones from the BEYERDYNAMIC archives that cannot be found anywhere else.
This is a sonic playground, a tone journey through 100 years of German microphone history, ready for any type of modern guitar production. And of course, both Jens and I created production-ready IRs that combine our favorite Beyer microphones so you can drop them into your productions.
That means that you can either rely on our mixed IRs or explore these microphones and create the perfect blend yourself. Time to celebrate this BEYERDYNAMIC anniversary together.